everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Today's video is slightly longer than 20 minutes. I think it's 23 minutes because I'm going to show you two art journal pages for hashtag AJOS peculiar persona, days 10 and days 11. And in that way, I can catch up instead of being one day behind everything. I can catch up to the real time so that day 12 will be on day 12, day 13 will be on day 13, and so on. So, that being said, Art Joy of Sharing is offering this challenge. It is a daily art journaling challenge for the month of October 21. And Art Joy of Sharing is a art community on Facebook that you can join for free. We have all kinds of challenges throughout the year, and each year for the last 7 years we've had, I think it's been 7, maybe 5 years, we've had a daily art journaling challenge. So if you look up in the iCards, you'll see links to other years on this same dates that I have done in the past. And that might be interesting to you or not, some other videos. But this one, starting out with right now, the prompt is Gavino Colter. So I figured that the character is a Colt because, yeah, Colter. And I'm starting out with the very last pages in the book, which I had used the gel plate that is supposed to be the right size for this one. It's just slightly smaller than the page. Comes from Ranger, designed to be the right size. And this is a Dilutions dialogue journal, and that's also from Ranger. So I had printed in there at some point just a couple of the pages, and I wanted to bring those two pages together. So I found the same acrylic paint colors that I had in the gel prints, which, you know, they're still just there sitting next to my desk on my little rolling cart. And I used both some paintbrushing in the middle to get some of the two pages to match, and then I went over it with a stencil from Stencil Go Products, and I stenciled those same colors over the top. Then around the edge I wanted to make like a border that I could write in, a black border. So I just tore a piece of paper in a rough looking way and used that as a mask, and then I used some black ink, some black acrylic paint, and a sponge dauber, and just flicked over from the paper to the outer edge. You don't want to rub back and forth because you'll get paint underneath that piece of paper mask that you've created. So just going from the paper off onto the other side of the page and making this this border all the way around the page. Then I wanted to bring in some of that black into the pages, so I used a piece of stencil waste to make some circles, and then I used a China marker. This is like a wax crayon, to make some marks by drawing around some of the shapes and making my own shapes. And then in that way, I feel that those two different gel printed pages now become one 2-page spread with a border. And pretty happy with that. I have this cut out. At the beginning of this challenge, both Peggy and I shared some collage papers that you could print out and use if you wanted to during the challenge. And this zebra colt was on there. A zebra is a different type of a horse, kind of. And so its babies are also called a colt. So I wanted to use that one because I just thought it was a really cute picture. And it has a lot of pattern because zebras have those stripes on them. Some people call it zebra, which different way of saying Z is Z. Just a little weird thing. I also wanted to give him some type of a personality. I wanted to make a story about the characters. During this challenge, that's what we're doing. We're making characters in our art journal pages, peculiar personas in our art journal pages, and they can be done in so many different ways. You can do collage, you can do magazine cutout collage, you can do illustration, painting, things that are already pre-printed that you can purchase and make up stories about them and color them from a lot of different companies. or in this case, a printed photo. This is from unsplash.com, which is a service that allows photographers to put up their photos for people to use in their art. So I printed it out from there. Well, made a collage sheet and then I printed that, and then, anyway. Long story short, it's from Unsplash. So as I was looking at the stripes, I was thinking, and then when I found this hat, which was another little printout that I had printed, I thought it looked like a hat, like those straw hats with the bands that people from, what are they called? Barbershop quartets. Do you remember barbershop quartets? I've seen them a few times in the theater. I'm not sure it's still a thing, actually. I'm sure somebody must be doing it, but it would be like four guys, quartet. One sings bass, one sings tenor, one sings alto, and one sings the higher notes. This, I don't think any guy can really go for soprano, but it was music done in 4-part harmony by some guys. A cappella, I think maybe sometimes they might have had a piano accompaniment. They would dress in a certain way with a yellow straw hat and a red and white striped jacket and slacks with a bow tie. And it was a fun thing. And I don't even know what era it's from. So someone here is going to leave me a comment who's a little bit older than me. You might tell me in the comment and tell everyone else maybe the history of it if you know anything about barbershop quartets. I was a music major in college, and I do remember them as being something that people did, but I'm not really sure where it's originated from or whatever. I should have done some homework and looked before I made this video, but I didn't think about it. But anyway, I was thinking about the striped jackets, and I was thinking about the hat and how it looked like one of those hats from a barbershop quartet. So I decided to make my Colt be in a barbershop quartet because striped coat just made me giggle. You know how they say, "Oh, don't wear stripes with plaids. Don't wear, all these, there's all these rules. Don't wear white after Labor Day." Not really sure why that is. Anyway, I thought it would be funny if my Colt wore stripes because he's a zebra and he has stripes. So then he wears stripes. So then you've got these clashing patterns. So I cut out a piece of reddish orange. The background is orange, right? So I didn't want to go with a completely different color. So I cut it out from like a reddish orange, and then I drew the stripes on. I colored with my Posca pens the white stripes in, and then I also colored the hat with some alcohol markers to make it look more like one of those yellowy straw flat hats. I did some shading around the edge at some point, to blend them into the background. The background's really busy, so maybe I should have calmed it down a little bit around the Colt, but I didn't. This is an art journal page. It's not the end of the world. So I wanted it to be a funny character. So that's what I'm doing, is a funny character, right? Because that's what Peculiar Persona is all about, is making fun, kooky, crazy, maybe hybrid, maybe, whatever kind of characters in your art journal pages as a fun activity during October to encourage you to art journal every day. So the reason I wanted the black border around the whole thing is because I was reminded that you can then write on it, right? I can write on it in white, which I thought was a good idea. Plus, it also helped with me integrating those two separate gel prints into one cohesive thing because there was an edge all the way around. So then I got kind of an off-white colored marker. This is a Posca pen. And I wrote in my own handwriting, which I hate to do, but I did. And it says something like, I can't quote exactly, but Gavino Colter happily wears his different striped patterns as he gets ready to go to the church for his practice of doing barbershop quartet. Something like that. all the way around the edge, and I just wrote it all the way around the edge, curving it all the way around. And I thought it was cute and funny, and so I was happy with it. And here's all your close-ups, of course. And then we'll get to page for day 11, which is Irie Kinderton. So you have it, Gavino Colter. All right, the next one, Irie Kinderton. So when I was making up these names, I was just trying to make the second word sound like a last name. But now that I think about it, Kinderton sounds like kindergarten. And so I kind of got this idea to make Irie, who is a very kind person and is a teacher. I mean, you have to kind of be kind, not just kind of kind, but really kind to be a teacher, right? Especially with little children, because, you know, they get upset if they get yelled at or criticized. And so I thought to myself that he must be a kindergarten teacher. So I had some of these gel prints with leftover paint from the other day. I got a new couple stencils that are letters, upper and lowercase, and I was messing around with them with my gel plate with some paint that I had left over as I was working. And so I decided to use those prints, and because in kindergarten, which is the first grade of school in the United States, it's not grade 1, it's kindergarten, then you go to first grade and then second grade. Some kids even now go to preschool before they go to kindergarten, which mine all did. But one of the main things you learn in kindergarten is your ABCs, right? You got to learn your ABCs. And so I thought that using these papers in the background was appropriate if I was going to do a teacher, because it's the ABCs. So I probably would have done different colors based on what I collaged over the top, but these were what I had, and I thought they were childish colors with the bright pink and the bright, so I went ahead with those colors, even though it probably would have been more cohesive with some other color backgrounds. So I tore those all in basically squares and rectangles, glued them all down with Liquitex matte gel medium, and I'm scraping with a little card to make sure there aren't any bubbles. Then on Peg's shared collage sheets, she had several of these hand-drawn crazy little characters. It looks like she drew them with the Stabilo All pencil, colored them with watercolor. That's just my assumption, but she had several of them on the pages, and they're funny. They're cute, quirky little things, and so I cut out some of those heads, and then I also had these other ones that basically look like the same child with happy, sad, and I don't know what the other one is. Happy, sad, and tired, maybe? Is he yawning? Surprised? Scared? I don't know. Anyway, I thought that they could be triplets because it's basically the same face. I think probably it comes from something that was showing emotion. I'm not sure where it came from actually, but it kind of looks like a child's book talking about emotion. So I'm guessing that that's where it was from. I think someone actually sent it to me. In fact, I think I remember it was Jackie, if I remember correctly, sent me those, and they look like they're from a children's book. So then, of course, all these heads don't have bodies. I needed to make bodies. So I just got out some different collage papers and cut kind of narrow at the top, bigger at the bottom, little hump shapes to fill in the bodies. Also, I have a couple hats from the different hats and things that I had on the collage sheet. Basically, everything that I used to make this collage, with the exception of the paper, which everybody has paper, is from the collage sheets that we gave for free in the group. So if you haven't joined the group yet, down below the video, click the thing. You have to be on Facebook to join. Click, go answer the questions when they pop up, and then you can join the group and play along with us on all our different challenges throughout the year and post and share your art and give kind comments and appreciation to other people who share their art. That's what art joy sharing is all about. So then I needed a few little collars and things. So I had some little scraps and I cut out some collars to go on the tops of my little shirts. An arm with a hand, like that one in the back is raising his hand. This other one, well, he doesn't have it yet, but he's going to end up with an arm and hand. Anyway, I'm making all the little bits and pieces. I'm cutting apart. Okay, so I think, what was it? It was, I don't know. You might not have actually seen it yet. Let me see. Desiree Decisive. On that page, I used a lot of different things like stickers and rub-ons and things like that to make my words. I think it said, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Do you remember that page? It was a couple days ago. I wanted something similar to that, but much easier. And so what I did was to just use a free word processing program called Paint. And I made lines of text, but I used different fonts and different sizes to make some kind of a same, sort of that same type of look. Of course, they're all in black, which means they're not colors like the other one is, but it gives that same type of an idea. Rather than writing it with my hand or printing it out on one of my little label printers, I could have done that too, but I would have had to do each individual line separately. I just did it in a word processing program on my big computer and printed it out and then cut it apart. And you get that same type of a look of kind of all kinds of different things, but in a much quicker way. Not quite as cool, but pretty cool. And then all I did was just cut them into strips and glue them down with my glue stick. Then for finishing this page, all I need to do is, well, I needed the kindergarten teacher guide to be taller than the kindergartners. So I had to extend his legs a little bit because the picture was cut off at the knees. And so I'm trying to, I glued some paper on there that was kind of a craft color, and I'm trying to use my Pitt artist pens and my blending water brush to extend those legs out and make them look close enough that you don't immediately notice that they're painted on. I couldn't make it perfect, but I did my best. And then I've got an illustration pen to make some little fine details. I have the dark gray Pitt artist pen to make some shadows around the edges of everything to blend it into the page. I've got my white and black fine tip Posca paint pens to add highlights and different, just making marks, all that type of stuff to finish this up. So there are a lot of people playing along with this challenge this month, and they've been posting their art on our Facebook group and on Instagram using the hashtag AJOS Peculiar Persona. So there's lots of other fun characters out there that you can look at. I'm glad people are playing along and enjoying this. If you are enjoying my videos, please remember to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment or question below. I usually answer within 24 hours, if not sooner. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel. You can turn on your notification bells, which is that little bell shape on the right-hand side below. If you click that, it'll turn on a notification, and then when you log into Facebook, you'll find out that I've made a new video. I have been doing mostly videos every day this month. Next month in November, I'll be taking it a little bit lighter and maybe doing a video every 3 days because I do have company coming, plus there's holidays and things like that. Plus, I'm so busy this month that I want to relax next month. I have a lot of obligations this month. So I hope that you're enjoying it. Please give me lots of love so that my channel stays relevant and that YouTube uses their little algorithm situation, I don't know, that stuff, to help other people find my channel. That's how channels grow here on YouTube, and I'm always appreciative when you support me in that way. So I'm just about done. I'm adding some more hands and arms. to the triplets now. Just cutting out little real generic shapes out of scraps that are on my desk of kind of Caucasian-ish skin tones. As I'm looking up at the page, that one on the top, I should have colored his hand blue because his face is blue, and I didn't even think of it until now, right now, when I was looking at the screen as I'm talking. So, that's how it goes. Now I've got my black paint pen, and I'm making just like quickie marks, finishing marks. I guess I forgot to shade that guy, so I'm over there with my gray Posca pen again, doing the shadows around the teacher, and then some little black quick marks as well. Highlighting the words. Let's see what the words say. I'll read them to you. First, I have to find a picture. Irie Kindarton, the kindest teacher in the school, is really being tested by the new class of kindergarten students, most especially the triplets. So that's it for me. Here is the close-ups of this one, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.